Design and Memory and the Artificial Intelligence of Today. In the late 20th century, Peter H. Huyck and Nellie W. Kremenak's Design and Memory, Computer Programming in the 20th Century offered a remarkably prescient reflection on the philosophical, technical, and ethical nature of computing. The authors treated programming not as mere mechanical work, but as an evolving dialogue between human thought and machine logic, a creative act as ancient and transformative as shaping stone tools. While written decades before the rise of large language models, neural networks, and global digital infrastructure, Design and Memory continues to illuminate the foundations and challenges of artificial intelligence, AI, today. Its reflections on human-machine symbiosis, the evolution of information, and the ethics of the information society provide a framework for understanding how AI has become both a technological and cultural force. At the heart of Design and Memory is the concept of collaboration between human and machine. Huyck and Kremenak reject the idea that all human processes can be completely formalized, that is, reduced to mathematical or logical rules. They note that the greatest progress occurs when people and machines work together, each doing what it does best. This perspective directly anticipates the design philosophy behind contemporary AI systems. Today's models, such as GPT architectures and generative visual systems, extend human cognition rather than replace it. They process vast data in human speed but depend on human interpretation, prompting, and oversight for meaningful use. In this way, AI has realized the author's vision of human-machine ensembles where the computer acts as a speculative instrument for human thought. Just as a telescope amplifies sight, AI amplifies intellectual reach, but only through cooperation. Huyck and Kremenak's warning against thinking any and every process can be completely formalized remains a caution to today's technologists who may overestimate the independence or objectivity of AI systems. Design and Memory also anticipates the transition from rule-based formalism to adaptive, evolutionary systems. The authors predicted that something would supersede formalism as humanity continued to adapt, systems capable of evolving in response to changing environments. This prediction now describes the core of machine learning, where models learn not by fixed instruction but by pattern recognition, feedback, and self-adjustment. The shift from explicit programming to adaptive algorithms parallels the movement from mechanical logic toward a more organic form of intelligence, what the authors called making tools from digital storage. AI today embodies precisely this concept. Neural networks, reinforcement learning, and generative systems are not programmed to follow rules, they learn through data. This development fulfills Huyck and Kremenak's call to pass the burden of rigor back and forth between human and machine until a fit is achieved, suggesting a partnership that balances computational precision with human adaptability. One of the book's most striking insights is its treatment of information as a living, evolving medium. The authors argue that data should remain tabula rasa, unstructured and open to new forms of logic and interpretation. They understood that structure is not inherent in data, but is imposed by human purpose. This concept prefigures the data-driven revolution of AI, where meaning emerges from vast, unstructured datasets. Today's models, trained on billions of words, images and signals, extract patterns without explicit human categorization. In modern AI, data itself is both the material and the memory of learning systems, an embodiment of what Design and Memory called the transformation from flaking to grinding. Early programmers painstakingly chipped meaning from code bit by bit. Today's engineers grind massive data into statistical forms that machines can interpret. The author's metaphor captures the essence of the deep learning era, information as the raw stone from which cognition is shaped. Huyck and Kremenak propose the idea of a machine transmit its unique way of perceiving the world. They suggest that humans and machines may not share the same sensory or conceptual maps of reality. This observation speaks directly to one of AI's central philosophical challenges: interpretability. Modern AI systems possess complex internal representations, latent spaces and embeddings, that allow them to process meaning in ways that are opaque to human understanding. The authors foresaw this divide and proposed dialogue as the bridge. Human and machine will learn to use a language arrived at by mutual consent in a dialogue. This dialogue is visible today in the practice of prompt engineering, user fine-tuning, and model alignment. The effort to make AI systems think in ways understandable to humans is not just a technical task, it is the continuation of the philosophical problem design and memory articulated decades ago. The book also anticipated the social consequences of computing. Its discussion of Japan's plan for information society warned that the integration of information technology into everyday life would require public education, ethical oversight, and legislative regulation. The authors recognized that the power to control information was the power to shape society itself. Their insight resonates powerfully today as AI systems influence news, education, art, politics, and privacy. The modern discourse on AI alignment, bias, and regulation continues their call for responsibility for educating others, so that they can consider alternative goals intelligently. Huyck and Kremenak's insistence that programmers, and by extension AI developers, must act as both designers and citizens anticipates the ethical imperatives now central to AI governance. Design and Memory endures as both a historical document and a prophetic text. It framed programming not as a technical craft, but as an act of cultural evolution, a conversation between memory, design, and consciousness. Its authors foresaw that computation would one day merge with human thought, blurring the line between tool and mind. In the age of artificial intelligence, their vision has become reality. Today's AI systems are the continuation of the story design and memory began, the transformation of symbolic manipulation into living systems of knowledge. They remind us that intelligence, whether human or artificial, is not the product of logic alone but of design, purpose, and shared meaning. As we enter an era where machines learn, speak, and create alongside us, Huyck and Kremenak's message remains urgent: technology is not separate from humanity, it is our latest, most powerful act of remembering how to think.